Good afternoon, YouTube. It's your man on the way, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Here I have my partner and hand of the Emperor, Jared. Here.
Yo.
Yeah. Folks, before we start this, as you know, over the weekend before my channel, I had a lady that I did an interview with, a dear lady that I became acquainted with. She just passed away. Miss Rhonda Lee. She was fighting with colon cancer for 3 years, and it finally took her. She was a wonderful lady, amazing person. We kept in contact. From information I know, she was telling me she was moving back to Canada. That's what she did because she still had family back there. She had a brother and some other families that was back there, and I think she passed away peacefully. And I think she's a wonderful lady. And this kind of one of these ones that kind of was close to me in a way. Mr. Coates, who passed away about this summer, who I was also in contact with, Miss Jennifer Hernandez, another lady I was in contact with. But this one here, I think hosts the most because this lady was a nice lady, and and whatever you say about her, what she did in the past, that's not important. So before we start our show, I want to give a moment of silence to Miss Rhonda Lee. All right, rest in peace, Rhonda Lee, baby Lee. You were beautiful inside and out. So, folks, as you know, this weekend, the weekend past was the Big Man Pro. It was a show that was done in Spain. There's a growing amount of shows for women bodybuilding overseas. As you know, there was the Portugal Pro, the Europa show, also the Romanian Muscle Fest. And this show, I wasn't sure because I looked in and saw that it was only 6 ladies at the show, and I can understand because the fact is, it's a big contingent of women bodybuilders. There are also women over there who like people like Jay Fuchs, Lisa Cross, a couple of other ladies who are competitive bodybuilders. But I'm surprised they didn't do this show. Maybe it was a great show to earn a possibility chance for Olympia. So anyway, the good news is, the winner was for the women's bodybuilding division was Nadia Capasotto. Nadia is a bodybuilder from Italy, and she also won the Romanian Muscle Fest, which was about I would say a couple of weeks ago. And it was I'm a fan of hers. I mean, I follow on social media. I reached out to her a few times. I even sent some pictures from the show. She was very thankful because sometimes what these ladies do, they don't get the opportunities because, like, they tell me like this, they have to pay for their pictures from the show, and that's money out of their pocket. And like I said, I'm a fan of Nadia. Like here she goes. She has a big smile. I think she's a beautiful lady. I admire her and her commitment to the sport. I remember when she was at the Olympia, there was a picture of a video of her sitting there at one of the booths crying because it was just such a great opportunity for her, for her to have got to the Olympia. She won her opportunity at the Puerto Rico Pro this year. There was this summer. Then she got 10th place at the Olympia. Then she wins another qualification for the 2022 Olympia by winning the Romanian Muscle Fest, and now she wins this show. So, congratulations, Nadia. Also, the winner of the physique division was also another lady who I follow, as one Miss Anne Lorraine Moon. And congratulations to Anne Lorraine. With the women's physique division, it's a little more stacked. I think it was like maybe 13, 14 women at that show, but women's bodybuilding was 8, and I think some women could have jumped over. I mean, it was opportunity. But this was a decent show. And as you know, we're going to talk about what's the plans for the upcoming season. As you know, they just put out the lists for the shows coming up next year. There were some shows that are absent. I did a video about that, but then the New York Pro was added on to later, but still some shows are absent. Linda Murray used to have two shows. That was the Norfolk Pro and Savannah Pro. And so the Savannah Pro has switched and has moved to Atlanta next year. But I'm not seeing the Norfolk on the list, so I'm not sure if she's going to have that show or not. Also, still missing from the lineup is the Europa Championships and the Portugal Pro. And that they added a new show for the women. That's the Indy Pro. So So what's your thoughts, my brother?
My thoughts are, I didn't know that they brought back the New York show, so that's good. I guess they update it. They're usually updating that schedule list all the time, so good on you for telling me that. So yeah, that's good. Here's what I don't get. Why did her name's Nadia, right?
Yeah.
Or why did she attend this show if she's already qualified for the Miss Olympia?
Well, the one thing is, it's about money. Some women, like I was talking to a lady who I'm a friend of mine, Brittany Brooks. She was talking about how in another division, figure division, there's been one woman who's been competing a lot of shows. She has done maybe 3 shows since the Olympia, and then also if you notice, if you follow some of the physique competitors, because there's still more shows for physique than for women's bodybuilding. People like Natalia Amberham and Ivy Rain has been keeping. Natalia, she's already has qualification because she made the top 3. She was number 2 at the Olympia, which is, I think, now for women's physique, it's top 3 qualifiers. Ivory placed 2nd this year, and she's trying to get qualification for next year, but I think she's just getting points. And the thing is, it's about money. As you know as well as I do. This show where Nadia got $2,000, and I think she got $4,000 at the Romania Muscle Fest. Depending on how they do the money over there, I think Spain's money is different. I think it's rubles or something like that. I think Lors. I forget which one it is. One of those. And
Euro,
yes, euro. And it's about making money. If you don't have a job, like there's some ladies who I follow who have jobs. Tina, my good friend Tina Williams, she works at the bar. One lady by the name of my dear friend Daphne Carter, she's a nurse. Some of the ladies, some have jobs, but if you don't have, your job is, something that helps with you. But this, these shows what money can get, you can put towards, other things you got to take care of. Like I said, we talked about this before, how it costs more for a female bodybuilder to compete. They have to get their hair done, their makeup, they have the jewelry, they have to get the tanning, food, transportation, hotel. If you like, this show was in Spain, and the ladies, 2 of the women who were in the top 3 along with her are from Spain. So with them, unless it's just, I think it's just a drive, depending on where they stay at, to the show, because it was in Spain. But for the other ladies, such as Nadia, who's from Italy, Anne Moon, who's from France, one lady, Carol Alvarez, or I might go on full name, Caroline Alvarez de Sotos, she comes from Brazil, and she took 2nd in the women's physique division. She got $1,000 or €1,000, or how you want to say it. And I think the euro is more higher than the American dollar. I think.
I believe so.
Yeah, it is higher. So and she from her from being Brazil, that $1,000 euros is going to be double the amount, because in Brazil, the American dollar is, I think, 3 or 4, 5 times more than that of the I think it was the ruble. I forget. I know my man coach told me what's the name of the money. That's in Brazil. So
yeah.
So sometimes you see the same women in the shows, because the fact is, it's about trying to get money from stuff. Just also for qualification for the Olympia, but also trying to make some money.
And that's a big problem on
Yeah,
sport.
and that's a big problem because this Sunday, if you follow my channel, we had a little Sunday discussion. I invited some people, and we talked about what things the NPC and the IFBB can do to improve this, especially for the women, because they put in just about as much, and not even a little more. Because like with the men, all you got to put on is a banana hammock, put on some tanning, boom, you're out there. That's it. Other than maybe most unless you are a certain ethnic group where you have to do some hair fixing. Most time the brothers just shave their head. It's just you just go bald. But generally, it's just it's expensive, and especially if you're amateurs. Amateurs, they have to pay in, especially to compete the show. I was talking with my brother Big Keith Williams, and Brittany Brooks told me how it's $100 for the last show they had, was it the USA's. It's $100 for a ticket, and you go like, what the? I mean, this is not the pro show. I mean, I'm saying something like the Olympia, or maybe something like maybe the Tampa Bay. Those shows usually last long, like they go on for about a week to a few days. But this is just the amateurs, and I know one thing is amateurs and amateurs got to pay in. They have to pay their due fees on that, and it's just, why are the people paying that much for a ticket?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Oh, your phone is.
Put on mute. You go ahead. You keep talking while I'm here.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. It's like I could understand one thing if it was like an organization that took dues from its members and gave back a bit, but that's not really the situation that's happening here. Um, like a good way of you know of going around a lot of this sometimes is the the Patreon system that has arose that allows small content creators and just average everyday people to bypass a lot of these superstructures that exist that force you to go through these big institutions. And I see that as sort of like the future is um, is through just average, people funding like a Patreon support. But I think um, um, my real problem I had with this um, uh, with this show was where was the live stream at?
Yeah. It's just what it is. It's about money, as we talked about on the show yesterday. And as you know, amateurs, like I said again, they have to pay in. And I'd like to call them a little more amateurs, but so many, especially there's so many. You have so many classes, so many people. You can have at a show nearly 500-600. Like you told me, 500-600 competitors, and that's why it's so hard to cover. It's so easy to cover with the pros because there's so, not, I would say so few, but there are quite a few. You can focus on. Or amateurs, it's kind of scattered, and it is hard to just focus on one person. You ever see, like, sometimes, especially if they're a star and stand out, that's somebody we focus on.
Yeah. even then, this was a pro show, but there was no live stream to it. I just don't really get it. Why they would not have a live stream, especially with COVID restrictions and everything else. Because I couldn't, I haven't really seen the photos yet. I mean, I assume that Nadia, is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
I assumed that she was going to win. So I didn't really even bother speculating because that was just what I thought was going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think she's pretty impressive. She has the qualities I think you like. She's not as like compared to her Puerto Rico show. She looked amazing. This show, she looked all right. She's I think she has a little softer look. She knows she was physique. She made a leap after her last show in 2019. She competed at the Tampa Bay. She took 12th, and she switched divisions. Everything were happening last year. I think she probably just working out to build up herself before she made her debut at Puerto Rico. And like I said, she's a nice lady. Like I said, I follow her on IG. I be in contact with her. Like I said, I found some pictures from the show. I sent them to them. One site that has some pictures was Female Body Channel. That's AJ Roberts and JB. They had a couple of pictures from the show. Also, if JB, he did some interviews over there in Spain, and some sites have some pictures here and there. Not as many as we're in bodybuilding. Most of these sites sometimes we focus more on bikini and other divisions, but there's some pictures here and there.
That's good. I have to definitely review them to see what's how the girls look, because a lot of these are just competitors that are I mean, I've heard of their names, a few of them. Spanish one, a lot of Spanish competitors here.
Yeah,
it was in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Spain. I think this is actually the second place that we've seen a female bodybuilding competition. Just even in the last year or so. So there is that, and besides that, I guess we can also talk about where the what the term is, the Olympia Qualification 2022, how that's going.
Well, as you know, if you remember, Andrea, Margie, and Hella are the top three. And now with Nadia winning the Romanian show, she's now in the list. You still have Mala Ash, who took third of that show. So I think, she probably picked up some points. I don't know how many points she picked up. What's the points for Mala? If you got that.
Give me a second. Here, I can post the link.
All right.
Chat here.
Yeah.
Mute. Post. Go. She's at 5.
So she's tied with Anastasia Levanova, because I think you told me they gave her 5 points because she's over there. I'm surprised Anastasia, the two Anastasias, Anastasia Levanova and Anastasia Kovalova, didn't do this show, because especially Anastasia Kovalova, who did the Romanian, she took 4th. I thought she might try to do a show, maybe get points, or she might just wait to do either the Portugal or the Europe if they have women's bodybuilder on the list next year. She's huge. She is,
Yeah.
she is pure feminine beefcake from Russia. And the lady who won the her pro card, she's also Russian. I forgot her name. I can't say her name right, but she's also, I think, like I said, the last three pro, three amateur pro qualifiers have been Russian. Kind of Anastasia, Natalia, and this lady here. And the Russians are, really is a impressive group of Russian women. As you know, they'll show a lady by the name of Victoria. I forgot her name. I can't say it right. She competed at the Omaha this year, and she also did the Linda Norfolk. And I think if things settle and which we know right now is another variant of the virus coming out, and some places are now going back on lockdown. So some lockdown in Europe too. And we're hoping we don't have none of this virus yet, but it's gonna come. You can't help it. But we would love to see some of these Russian women make it, because I think if they could create another show. And I think, for some competitors, especially around Eastern Central Europe, where there's a contingent of women who will love the opportunity to compete at a show, that'd be closer for them.
Yeah, definitely. That's the thing about these European shows is there's always like two groups of competitors from their nationalities. One is from the Czech Republic,
Mm-hmm.
and the other is from Russia usually. And there's usually like some other countries sprinkled in there as well. But yeah, I do agree that it is much better to have a lot more diversity of nations at these competitions. I don't know if I've discussed with you, but recently I've been trying to readopt a lot of my ancestry of the past. So I am going through adopting a lot of cultural aspects of my ancestry, who are mostly for the most part, from Scotland and Celtic and all that. And in fact, I've gone to the point where I do not identify myself as white anymore. I identify myself as a European American, because race, like white, you may not realize this, the term white and black actually came from the Anglo-Saxon conquest of the Celts in late, like the 12th century, sometime around there. That's literally where the term comes from. The white was the Anglo-Saxon, the people of light defeating black peoples, the Celtic peoples, the Scots and Irish and the Wales. Actually, that term itself, but it was strange people, if I remember research correctly. But basically, what I'm getting at is white, black. Race is a social construct, but ethnicity does exist.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because like this is one thing. Race, we're all humans. We're the same race. We just have different ethnic backgrounds. Like how people go like this. If you're French, to me, French is your nationality. It's not your race. Like when people call people Mexicans, a race. It's not a race. It's a nationality. And you think about the Mexican people are a mixed, culture. They are both of Spanish descent, Native American descent, and there's some of African descent. Because especially if you go like certain countries which Spain, Portugal had territories in those areas, and they brought those people there.
Yes, Hispanic is a cultural a socio-cultural thing that applies to all groups of peoples of different um, skin tones and national backgrounds. But yeah, I would definitely like to see a lot more competitors from different countries and different nationalities. But anyway, I want to go over the point system because I didn't go over this last time for the Miss Olympia. So the OQS, that's the for the 2022 Miss Olympia is as followed. We got qualified: Andrea Shaw, Hello Trevino, Margie Martin, Nadia
Capasoto.
We're going to go with the first.
Yeah,
we're going to go with the first name.
Yeah, just say Nadia. Yeah, get it.
Okay. Yes. And then in points wise, Mona Pershella, 12, Irene Anderson, 11, Branka, 6, Anastasia Lenova, 5, Mila Ash, 5, Anastasia Porabelva, 4, Yashina
Speck. Yeah, Sheena Speck.
Yeah, 4, Tina Flex, 3,
Felicia,
3,
Ivana Dovkonova. I think it's
3.
Yeah, and
Sonia.
Sonia. Let's say Sonia. Yeah, yeah.
1. So that is a healthy number of people. A lot of them are skewed European because those have been the competitions recently.
With exception of Tiana, who is from South Africa, and I hope she's. Here's the thing about this is my fear for her. She may not even compete this year because she's from South Africa. As South Africa just had to shut down their borders. Unless she's living someplace in Europe and not going back to South Africa, I think that's probably the reason why she didn't do this show.
Yeah, I don't know the. I'm not 100% up to date with the COVID situation in South Africa.
Well, I watched news. I put it on. I saw that they was going to put up go ahead and put the shut down. Unless you are a citizen or something, got family, you can come in Africa, but you can't get out. Depending on unless you get the pass to keep the variant from spreading. I think this is where she's gonna be, and I think she's a beautiful woman, a beautiful young woman. She has impressive physique. She she earned a pro card by competing in physique, but she made her debut in women's bodybuilding, and like I said, now I think with this whole thing, it's going to set up her opportunities back. If she lives in South Africa, she's stuck. I would say if I tell you, some women, depending on if you can be able to try to, you find a place. If you're a certain country where that is going to be shut down, and you want to compete, you might need to find some place in Europe, maybe Great Britain, maybe France. Also, I would say Spain is pretty good. That's not too bad. Or someplace where, or like I said, Norway, Denmark, someplace where you can train, you want to compete, you want to take a shot. But if you live in South Africa and you're a competitor, don't go back. If you do, you're gonna be stuck. You're gonna, and I know she just started her pro debut. She got 3 points, and it's easy. And she knows she's to earn more points. She has to do shows here in the U.S. And maybe by the spring, when things settle, she can probably make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that whole situation right there. In terms of that, what did you think of the scoring? Like the placing of who placed where, and
well, I don't think much of it. Like I said, they changed it because the last time for the Olympia it was the top 5 competitors. Now it's the top 3.
I was talking specifically about the big man show.
A big show. A couple of surprises was that I felt like I almost definitely felt like Nadia was going to win. I thought Claudia and Ivana was going to make the top 3. I was surprised that Yasia and Felicia made the top 3. Felicia, she's a impressive physique. But one thing is she need to wear glasses. She wore glasses, and I think she should wear contacts. I think she's good physique, especially she's an older lady. I think I remember Lena Popa used to wear glasses when she used to compete back in the day. You remember?
Yeah, it's been a while, but I do.
Yeah.
Think I remember.
And then after a while, I think she probably got contacts, and she stopped wearing the glasses on stage. And then also she was a blonde, but she switched back to her original color of brunette. I think she looked a lot better. But the 2 ladies I thought was going to make the top 3 was Ivana and Claudia. They look pretty impressive. But if they still work, fix a few things, make a few tweaks, they might do pretty good. The thing is, there's no more shows for women until next year, and it'd be all the way till about May for any shows. But I know there'll be more shows for the other divisions. I think there's still some shows coming up, and also there's a good chance that some of them, if you got to go, to Canada. You have to. I was talking with some ladies from Canada, and thing is, you have to get your PCR test if you think about doing the Toronto. And also, they definitely want you to make sure you have the get the vaccine. I think I'm hearing some rumblings that Mila Ash might do Toronto. I know this is scuttlebutt, but I'm not certain. I know my dear friend Tana Hughes, she's gonna be doing the show. Also, a couple ladies that I follow will be doing the show. One possibility is because she does not, as even though she took 4th place at the Olympia, is Mona Porcella. The question is I feel like because Toronto's in her backyard, she lives in Canada. I think she's gonna do the show to get her qualifications for next year.
Yeah, definitely agree.
And like I said, there's so few shows for the women, and still the suspect question is they're going to bring back the North Fork show, which is the Linda show. Is it gone for good?
It's gone for good.
I don't know. That's the question because I'm wondering because one point people say that Linda's going to do 3 shows before right around 2019. There was talk of 3 shows. And then was going to have a show, and he was doing the North. We all know the Norfolk, the Savannah, and also she would do because she's from Michigan. She's going to do a show in Detroit. She will do a Detroit Pro, but everything boom, and when everything with the bag just busted open, and everything changed. So that show was nixed, But she had Savannah, and she went ahead and had the Norfolk, because the Norfolk was canceled last year because Virginia they had guidelines, and they still had the Savannah because Georgia they don't have they don't care. And now the show's been moved to the Savannah's going to move to Atlanta. As you know, they had Chicago Pro in Atlanta the last couple of years because Chicago, Illinois didn't was not trying to control the guidelines. But now it's going to be back in Chicago. Also, the New York Pro is going to be back, not in New York, because this is what I found out. It's the New York Pro is actually held in New Jersey. Yeah, it's I think it's called the town's called Teaneck. But the way I was told, the town's so close, you can actually see New York across from the harbor or the bay.
That's usually how it is there.
Yeah. So I think the Giants, New York Giants, play in New Jersey. And they call them New York Giants, but they play in Jersey. Yeah. Big talk is, like I said, what's next year's going to be like? Who's going to be on the come up? I saw on Facebook, as you know, I get on my timeline, one lady who's supposed to make a return is Isabelle Tyrell. And Isabelle Tyrell, she is a bodybuilder. She competed in a few shows for a while. Her biggest win was the Omaha Pro back in 2015. She hadn't competed for a good while, and now she's making a return. Isabelle did a up and coming list, and here was the list was some of the names I recognized, and such as she mentioned Ashley Hadley, who I'm a fan of. She's an amazing woman, great. She just had a birthday last week. Happy birthday to her, belated, and a great set of abs. She mentioned Monique Jones, Mala Ash, Andrew Shaw, and a few others who we all know as women's strength ambassadors. But here's the thing is, she should have also mentioned the women up and coming who are not ambassadors. See, it was only like barely maybe a 9-minute thing. She talked about her coming back. Big question is what show is she going to do? Is she going to, it's just which show is she going to make a return? But the thing, if you're going to do something like that, it should be more extensive. You should talk about more other people, such as Hunter Henderson. She is the phenom. Hunter, won her first amateur show at Omaha. Then she earned a pro card at the USA's, and she takes second at the Tampa Bay Pro. So that was somebody you should talk about. Also, Stephanie Fletcher. Stephanie, she competed at the Omaha. She took second, I think, that show. She took third at the Chicago Pro, and fifth at the Tampa. She wasn't women's physique. She made the switch, and that's somebody that should be talked about. The thing about Stephanie is that, from what I'm hearing, I saw her. She did she was like, I think she was number 2 on the qualification list, right? Remember? Yeah, because remember, Margina Zemanova was leading. Then Margina won the Europa show. Then Janine Lukowski took a place.
Oh yeah.
And then it was Stephanie and Monique after that.
Yeah.
And Stephanie, she dropped out. She did an interview. She was doing like commentary for Female Bodybuilding Channel, and she mentioned how she didn't want to get there about points. But like this, I know a lady who I'm a dear friends with, Tina Williams. She said she missed the Olympia by 1 point. She would rather have take the opportunity, even though she may not win the show. She earned the right. She'd rather had do that than just come on. You had opportunity to complete the Olympia. Don't use that BS saying that a win is a win. Any way you get where there, you can get there's probably dozens of women who would love to take your place. You know,
Yeah.
you had I think 9 points. You're in like Flynn. With Monique, I think some things I'm hearing that I think Monique might be retiring. I'm not certain. Just it's scuttlebutt right now. Ashley, I'm surprised she mentioned also Alicia Young. Alicia Young, she's very popular. Where Alicia, she's busy. She's doing stuff outside of sport. She's making her money. And I'm not sure if she has a chance she might return to compete. I think somebody told me she has medical issues. Also, my dear friend Miss Jada Beverly. Jada has an amazing body. I'm a fan of Jada Beverly. I think she has an amazing body. She has that look of great lean muscle. She reminds me of like a Sheila Black or I'm trying to think of another one. I think just lean, great fit, long, just amazing physique, great lines. Sheila Black. I think also somebody else in my head. And they pop out later,
Yeah.
but that's who she reminds me of. And also, someone like Nadia, who just won, won the Romania, earned her second qualification, who just won the big man show. I know she know about the big man show yet, but she could have said like Nadia, she won qualification within two qualifications in 1 year by winning the Romanian and winning the Puerto Rico, placing 10th at the Olympia. Being her first Olympia, making the top 10. If you're going to do something like that, we're talking about up and comers, you should talk about the ones that are really, have, the look physique. One lady, another lady who did the Savannah Pro made her switch to women's bodybuilding with physique. Jeannie Welker, who took third at Savannah. You know, another lady, Rosanna Boswell, who I'm a fan of. She came back after shoulder injury and surgery. She takes and wins Savannah, and that was her first bodybuilding show she won. She went to last year's Olympia by owning points. She took second at the Chicago Pro. I think she made a top 3 at the Omaha Pro, and then also she did I don't think she did the Savannah. And she's an amazing person. I respect that.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely do agree. Uh, it should be interesting to see who competes at the Toronto Po this upcoming weekend, and after that we got Vancouver. Sorry, Vancouver, and then the next we have a light between competitions, springtime to now. Um, so we will definitely see indeed. I think, it, yeah, I think with COVID, it may be a little skewed. The national competitors, isn't always necessarily a bad thing sometimes. Um, but um, I think if you want to compete at the Miss Olympia and know you can compete there, it would be good to compete at these shows with less competitors. Um, and yeah, I think
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is, like I said, the bigger shows like Chicago and the Tampa, I think certain competitors, especially if you're gonna make your debut. If you're gonna make your debut, I would say do a show like the Omaha. It's not as big. Also, the Indie Pro, the Indie Pro. I think, as you know, they're debuting female bodybuilding for the first time. It's usually the last couple of years it's been men's 212 and men's open. They just added on women's bikini this year, so that'd be a great show. Those two shows for anybody who's going to make their debut should do that. I mean, maybe also the New York Pro. I would say avoid the Chicago, the Tampa. because those are big shows. A lot of bodies going to try to do that show. Maybe do the Puerto Rico, and you know, depending on which, if they're going to have the Linda Murray, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the Atlanta is not the Norfolk. If they have Norfolk, you know. And also, this thing is, I know some ladies I talk to say they don't want to get the vaccination because they're afraid, whatever. And some have issues with the vaccine. But like I said, if you want to do shows out of the country, you're going to have to get your vaccination. Truthfully, you might, do like I said, do it months in advance. This is the dead season for the female bodybuilder. There's after that, no really shows going on. Get your vaccination. Get yourself checked out. Make sure you get, also, we were talking about this. Get your blood work done. Regularly see your doctor. Get your blood work done. Yourself tested. Do whatever you can do. Let's try to stay in shape. Because and maybe next year, when I think maybe the variants will drop off, things will settle, where it'd be easier when you don't have to do quarantine. Because I know a couple ladies who, like Irene Anderson, she had to do quarantine. Virginia Sanchez, when she came from the Olympia, she had to do quarantine. One lady I followed, Barbara Manjan, she did quarantine. Her and Ann Moon, they did quarantines in places like I think Irene did hers in Turkey, and the other ladies did theirs in Mexico. So if you're going to do a quarantine, do it a month in advance.
Yeah.
Then set up where you can probably set up where you can find yourself a place to stay, where you can work out and train. I think with Irene, what happened with her at the Rising Phoenix, she did the quarantine, she got here, but she didn't have enough time to really. I think she did quarantine for 2 weeks. Then she may have been here in the States for a couple of weeks. You need yourself more time. When you fix yourself and come in a better condition. That's why she looked a lot better at the Olympia she did at the Rising Phoenix, because they gave her more time to fix a few things.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's about money. If some of these ladies can afford it, they would do it that way. But they'd rather just if the restrictions drop off and they can just hop on a plane, come here, go back, they would do that. That'd be a lot easier for them, and it saves some money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one thing I would like to do, if I could do it, if I had the money, I would love to sponsor a female bodybuilder, a couple of them. I would love to say, especially ones living outside of the States. Bring them over here, let them train here, live here for a while, do a few shows, and then that will help them out and give them opportunity, because they can get their feet in the ground here. They can also get more opportunities for modeling work. Do, like I said again, I know some women don't like to do it, but the real money for a lot of women are for, I would call them the beat the meat websites. That's what they are. Because generally the majority that go to these websites are men, and some of these women that live overseas, those sites don't freak them as much because they're here. If they're coming here and work those sites, they can really make some money for themselves. That will help them in especially doing like photo sessions for something like HBC, Muscle Angels, HC Physiques. I think a lot of those companies love these something, especially they see they are on social media a lot. They post their pictures and stuff. They love them. They love to see them come over here. But if they can come over here and maybe live here for a while, do a couple of shows, make their money, they can go back. That'd be a lot easier for them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this was a pretty good discussion we got. I think we should definitely focus maybe next time. Next time we're going to definitely focus on the Toronto Pro, because I know they're going to have a live stream for that, and I can go in depth a little bit more than
Big Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they didn't have a live stream for that show. I was trying to find the scorecard and who other than what I saw on some sites where I saw the women that they didn't win the top three. I was trying to find who else, how the other ladies place. That's you want to see, hey, how did she place? Why did she this place here? What was the name of that? So you want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, this was a good conversation. I can tell you right, it's good. We will talk about the this is next week. We'll talk about Toronto Pro. We're gonna be getting really low on some shows, folks, because this is Muscle Talk number 62. We're gonna, like I said, we'll still talk about some stuff. If you are out there, you follow us. Send, you can, like I said, you can, check me out. You can DM me on my IG. That's George MacArthur, lowercase 501. You can, if you have some suggestion you wanted to send or something you want us to talk about on here, send it to me. And or if you follow my channel, you can post it on one of my videos. Say, hey, I got a suggestion, and you can explain to us how you want us to talk about it. We'll talk about it because, like I said, we like to talk about women's bodybuilding. We might even, like I said, talk about some other divisions. So, it's one division that is kind of similar in a way. The women are, it's figure. The women there are just as, they're not as large, but just as muscular and defined. And, I think those three divisions are really, truly, I would say, female bodybuilding. That is women's open, women's physique, and figure. Those are truly, in my mind, female bodybuilding. The others are more or less, more about popularity than it is about like bikini. It's more about, it's not really bodybuilding per se. But you know what? Truth it is, bikini did offset. Bodybuilding didn't come from a bikini in a way. If you remember, it started off as more as bikini, but then it evolved later through the years. But yeah, bikini is like the history of it. But it's a long history long ago.
Yeah.
So you think we're done, bro?
Yeah, we are done. I think we covered everything we needed, and I'm going to go walk my doggy now.
Walk the doggy. For walkies.
He's a cutie, all right.
That's why we used to have dogs, but we used to just, we went in that. My mom didn't believe them having in the house. They stayed in a little thing in the house or under the house, or live or sleep on the porch. My sister, she used to have poodles, and my mom didn't buy them because it's my sister. But that's it. But yeah, I hope he has you enjoy your walk with your doggy, and I hope everything's all right where you're at. Anyway, folks, we do appreciate your time here. This is Muscle Talk, episode number 62. Like I said, we appreciate giving you knowledge, information on the sport of women in the bodybuilding world. If you, like I said again, just if you have anything you'd like to talk about, put it in the description, into the comment section in this video. Share, like, comment. We really can use your support. Support my man Jared. Let's try it also. Let's support these ladies because they work hard. They put a lot of themselves into sport and get little to no reward out of it. That's why, like I said, if you're a bodybuilder who is on the come up, hey, you want to help them out, but don't look for nothing from them. Just say you're doing this because you are a fan and you want them to see in their sport. So, it's my brother Exe Gucci 23. Hey, yeah, man, Gucci Exe, man, you late. I'm about to end, brother, but I do appreciate you coming through. As usual. So anyway, this is your man all the way, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk. Here, my hand of the Emperor, Jared.
There we go.
Yeah,
everybody.
We appreciate y'all time. I appreciate my brother Exe Gucci 23 coming through. Your late brother. And like I said, again, reach out to some of these ladies. Be support. Don't want nothing from them. You just want to support their goals, to be great athletes, and to attain, opportunities that most other people either don't want or just can't have. Anyway, don't like, subscribe, don't subscribe. We're out.